believe we're live. Two
We
seconds
are
live.
live. Wow. Welcome
Hi,
back,
Tiffany. I forgot what
David.
you look like.
Uh, yes, it's been a minute. It's been a minute.
Just a
Well,
couple.
should we just jump right in? Shall we do it?
Yeah, I think so.
Great.
Let's pod.
Let's pod.
Yeah. That was pretty fast. As the time off, I really got to, get my dexterity back up to be ready for that moment.
I would say we didn't really skip a beat on that one.
No, that was good. That was good.
Okay, icebreakers. Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun. Well, we've been on a summer break, 2.5 months, summer off. We are
Long
officially
summer.
in fall now, which is wild. Can you give me like 1, 2 top moments from your summer?
Top moments from the summer. My God, it's so hard to even remember what the summer was. I feel like this year has been snap, and we're in September. This has been such a bizarre year. But summer, probably my July 4th trip, which I think we talked about probably last time. That still probably rang as the coolest thing in the summer to get to go and be in the 4th of July thing with NASCAR and stuff in Chicago.
Yes.
And to just sort of just have the anticipation build towards whatever this year was going to be. That was kind of the beginning of being okay, I'm sort of getting back into the saddle and getting ready to put that back out into the world. And that was sort of the first attempt. So that's probably still the summer thing. Fall has been more eventful than the summer, but the summer was awesome. So yeah.
Your fall.
What about
fall
you?
Just started. Fall literally.
Fall feels
started
I feel like
2
I've
days
lived
ago.
12 lives this month. I'm yeah. I'm the little melting face emoji. That is my existence currently. But it's good. If he's smiling too while melting.
Smiling
That's
and
me.
melting at the same time.
Yeah.
Does fall start for you after Labor Day? Is that why you're considering this last couple of weeks?
I mean, I almost feel like August bled into my fall. I feel like August doesn't feel like summer to me because it's when I was it was preseason and stuff. So it was starting to get into a different work zone. And work-wise in the industry too, summer's always kind of weird. It can be super dead.
Yeah.
Super dead. And it kind of was. And then in August, it started to just some dubbing stuff came back and I was busy with that. Oh, that's the other summer thing. We went to Florida with Allie's folks to celebrate her dad having being done with cancer treatment, and that was actually that's better than NASCAR. I'm glad I'm going back through my filing system.
Yeah.
What was July? That was late July, and that was a really great trip.
Yes.
So yeah, but that felt like the end of summer. That was the end of July, and then August came, and it was preseason games, starting to gear up. New part-time job, all of these different things started to kind of come together. So it was
Your
that trip. My
calendar-
buddy came and then they were there.
Your calendar revolves around the football season.
Oh yeah. Yep. It sure does.
Yes,
What was
I
your
remember seeing posts about your Florida trip. And I was thinking about that this morning when I was prepping for the pod. And I thought to myself, Tiffany, you didn't even put a bathing suit on once this entire summer.
Well,
I know. I don't really feel like I had a summer. I just kind of worked right through it, which is wonderful, a blessing to be working
That's
at
awesome.
all. But I did have one highlight. I did book a film, my first theatrical gig in 2.5 years. I think there was probably maybe a short film in there. Oh no, there was definitely I can't say that. My second theatrical gig of in the last 2.5 years. So yes, I'm very thankful that I got to go do that. It was in Kentucky, so I got to fly and leave Los Angeles, which is always a fun time when you're filming. Yeah, it was a very quick and full experience. But yes, I got to be an actor again and be in front of camera and have lots and lots of words to say. So
do the thing.
That was probably my highlight. Yes, I got to do the thing.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Otherwise, I've just been on this bike, cycling, and cycling some more. Okay, Great. I love that summer answer.
Wait, I have a question though, because I thought of something
Oh.
when you said you didn't put a bathing suit on. Now, do you think some of that has to do with living in Los Angeles for so long that everything sort of kind of always kind of feels like summer? So it doesn't feel like as a like much of an event of a season, because I feel like where I grew up, summer was like so weatherly different that it like felt like summer. And it does still here. It gets hot,
Sure.
but it's always nice here. Like you could go wear a bathing suit technically,
Yeah.
maybe
Right
not
now.
December.
There's
December could be
there's a
cold. But
pool
yeah,
right
like right now
outside.
for sure.
I could
Yes.
go sit by the pool, but I didn't.
Sure.
But it's
All
not
right.
it's not something that I like. I'm always actively seeking out, putting on a bathing suit and just sitting by a body of water. I don't even
Yeah.
really remember the last time I got in the water. And anybody that knows me that listens to this will be like, "Yep, she doesn't ever do that."
I don't ever
I
do that.
never get in water. You don't get in the
It's
water
not
either?
my. No, I don't like water. If we never talked about this, I'm like really not a
What?
water.
You were
But
jet
I'm growing.
skiing.
So that was a huge moment for me. Huge moment.
Oh.
I'm like terrified of the water. I'm afraid I'm going to drown by like even being in a pool. Like I don't swim. I'm not like a swimmer. I can swim to save my life,
Okay.
but like I don't, my brain tells me Allie, I can hear her as I say this. Like she gets really mad at me for saying this because she's seen me like swim enough. And I've learned to love the water a lot more in this relationship because she's a fish and her whole family is fish. Our fish.
Hilarious.
But there was like that was a thing with my family. Like half of us were not water people. The other half kind of were. And I've like sort of been that my whole life. But like in this trip specifically, and in another one that we went to few years ago too, the water there in the Florida area and like the Gulf is very different than like water out here too. And the ocean doesn't feel nearly as like crazy scary as like if you go in
Yeah.
like a big wave could just rush you out. It's
Yeah.
like way more bathwatery. So like, and you can wade out a really long way before you're ever in any sort of danger of being like like your head underwater or anything. So I started to kind of get more used to it. And then, yeah, this trip, her family has a jet ski in the family and then they rent a boat through this whole system. So like my brother-in-law, drives a boat around and then they have a jet ski that our nephew usually is driving. And I started asking all these questions. I was like, so like, what's it like? Like, what do you need to watch out for? And then we got to a place where it was like, we were kind of in not super deep water, but the jet ski was still there. And they're like, do you want to go? And I was like, well, if Allie will go with me. So she rode on the back so I could sort of get comfy with it to like understand, which I'm almost glad I did that first because it was way harder to keep your balance. So I was a little bit more like, once I got on by myself, I was like, oh, this is fun. Like, because I like motorcycle, like that kind of thing.
Okay, you like that energy.
And it was like it was like a water motorcycle. It was fun. But that was a huge moment because like,
motorcycle.
yeah, I'm not a water
Wow.
person. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm growing into one more.
That's fascinating. I went to Cornell University. I graduated from Cornell University. And one of the requirements to graduate from that school, from that college, is you have to be able to swim. So
why?
During freshman orientation, well, I'll get back to that. I'll get back to the reason I think it is, but I'm not 100% sure. But
okay.
During freshman orientation, they set up appointments for every incoming freshman to take a swim test. And the swim test is 3 laps in an Olympic-sized pool.
No.
Forward. Yeah. Yes, David. Forward. Backward. And then one of your choice. And you can't stop. You have to go like 3 laps, right? So, and for anybody that like doesn't know, swimming is fucking hard. Like it is.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how long of a time is 3 laps?
I mean, it depends 15? On how fast of a swimmer you are, but like
we're talking 10 minutes.
We can probably knock it out in 10 minutes.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
Like a normal person, like a swimmer could probably do it way faster. But
torture.
Yeah. So I just was like, well, I've taken swim lessons before. I've never done this in an Olympic-sized pool before, but let me just go for it, right? So I went for it. By the time I got to that 3rd lap, David, I was like pulling myself up out of the pool, and I was like, did I pass? Like nobody's saying like good job, like nobody's doing any of that.
That's hilarious.
So I was like, if they don't say anything to me, I'm assuming that I'm good to go, because if you don't pass, then you have to take a 6-month class in swimming, and you at some point before you graduate, you
Wow.
have to pass this test. And there are some people that I remember not graduating on time because they never took their swim test. They were like, I'll get around to it eventually, and they never did, so they didn't graduate.
That
I
is
know.
fascinating. I've never heard of. I like. It sounds like a foreign language requirement. Like that's like everywhere, but it's like that.
Yes.
Like you either have to pass
Yes.
out or you have to like take it. That's
Well,
crazy.
well, I'm glad I brought it into the pod then. Look at where our
Yeah,
conversation just led
that's
us.
nuts. I know. How about that?
Um, I think when I was there, I remember hearing something about a former student drowning, because like
Okay.
Cornell's built on a hill, right? And there's all these like gorges, and it's beautiful. Ithaca is
Mm-hmm.
gorgeous is a t-shirt that is worn often in the city. But it's beautiful, but it's also, Cornell has like the highest suicide rate, or at least it did when I was there as a
Really?
student. It has the
Huh.
highest student suicide rate amongst all of the universities in the US. And I
Crazy.
think that's what happened. Like some kids were playing around and they were messing around over in the gorge area, and they drowned, and the parents donated all this money to the school saying this will never happen again to any student that graduates from Cornell University.
That's fascinating. Holy shit.
Yeah. So I
I
had to
learned something
get
today.
really comfortable with water at some point in my life, but like the reason why I don't go in the water, it's more of just like an aesthetic thing. Like I just would
Sure.
rather be cute on the sidelines than
That's
get
understandable.
messy in the water.
Beach can be fun without water.
Oh yeah, as long as I have an umbrella. I'm in the shade,
Yeah,
I'm not in the water, we're good.
absolutely. All right.
That's just me. Okay, I think the ice is
And that's summer. Yeah,
broken.
ice is broken.
I think the
Yeah,
ice is broken.
I love it.
All right,
Oh,
David, tell me
yeah.
what you have been watching since I last saw you. What are you watching on the television? What movies are you watching? What's happened?
I'm trying to think of the last movie we went to at the theater. It was the Austin Butler one. What was that one called? Darren Aronofsky.
Hmm,
Something
I can't remember, but I know which one
sort
you're
of
talking about.
heisty. It felt like an old Guy Ritchie movie, like
Yeah.
a sort of Snatch like. It was actually really entertaining. Really really good. Um, cannot wait to see the new Leo movie. That's like the one that I'm like.
Mm.
I usually have like an anticipation movie, and I haven't had one for a minute, and that one is like high on the list because I love. My favorite movie of all time is Magnolia. I think that still holds up.
Hmm.
P.T. Anderson is like one of my favorite directors when there was like a period of him that I felt like he was making the best stuff. Like I love Boogie Nights. I love Magnolia. I love the one with Adam Sandler that people Punch Drunk Love. Like I just really like. He's like a really specific filmmaker. I feel like he's missed the last couple times, and from what I've been reading, this movie's supposed to be incredible. So I can't wait for that.
Love.
TV shows. We just watched Platonic last night. That one's almost done this season.
Oh, Apple, right?
The other Seth Rogen one. We watched that one. We're kind of in like a weird in between show time. Like there's like some that we've both been like wall to wall busy, so it's been harder to find time. And because we usually watch together, neither one of
Yeah.
us have ventured into a show solo. But there's like ones on my radar. Like I really want to watch the Mark Ruffalo one on HBO.
Trask. Task.
Task. Yeah, I was going to say
Task.
Stark. I had like the right letters but in the wrong. Yeah,
Yeah.
Task. That because I loved that other guy in Ozark. He was so good.
Oh yeah.
He was like the troubled brother of Laura Linney in Ozark. So I want to see that. We haven't started that one yet. Trying to think of what else finished up or that we started. I did make my friend watch a really good documentary while I was in Chicago. If you haven't seen the Shark Whisperer, have you seen that?
Shark whisperer? As in like
On
somebody that
Netflix.
speaks to sharks?
Kinda. It's fascinating.
Okay.
So that was the second time I've watched it, which I am not
Oh.
usually that person, but I did like a real quick there and back trip this past weekend for work, and we were like, she was like floating through Netflix dials and like kept landing on foreign things. I was like, hey, I did that. And then it was like she was
Aw.
trying to find something to watch, and I'm like, have you heard of this? Because she's like best friends with my wife. So I was like, this great documentary about this girl that like swims with sharks and stuff. And she was like, what? And she turned it on and like immediately was drawn in. I was drawn in for a second time. It's fascinating. It's
Okay.
worth the hour and a half. Also
Shark
beautiful
whisperer.
cinematography. Yeah. She's
Okay.
she's Insta famous for having pictures of her like touching sharks and like literally like holding onto a shark fin and swimming, because she's like a shark conservationist that sort of seems to be able to communicate with them and have them not eat her. It's nuts.
Wow. Okay.
It's crazy. And her
I love
husband is
that.
the he films like while they're doing it. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, watch that.
Everything's better with a buddy. Love that.
Absolutely. Yeah, those are.
Okay.
I'll leave it at there. What do you got?
I think where I left you last was Gilded Age.
Oh
Did we
yeah,
talk about that? We were, right?
I think you did
So,
because I haven't ever seen it.
yeah, you've never seen it, but um I feel like once you start watching a period piece, you kind of get stuck in period land for a while.
Okay.
So, I've been in that world.
All right.
I literally just finished binging all 6 seasons of Downton Abbey. Did you
Oh
ever watch
wow.
that? I know it's
I
so
didn't.
like old school, right?
That one
What a throwback.
I never had. Some of the old British stuff's hard for me, and I just like I don't know. I didn't really have an interest. It never piqued my interest.
It never
Maybe it
piqued
should
my
have.
interest back then either, even though it was very widely talked about.
Oh yeah.
But from the title of it, I thought it was going to be about nuns.
Okay.
So I
Sure.
didn't ever press play on it. But the person that created Gilded Age, he was also the creator of Downton Abbey. But Downton
Okay.
Abbey obviously came first, so it's a very like different interpretation of the households upstairs and downstairs, all the service quarters and all what the experience of the service people are in comparison to what the people's experience is from living upstairs.
Gotcha.
Same
Okay.
exact like format as Gilded Age, but it's a far um I don't know. It's just a little bit more grounded. Downton Abbey's a little bit more grounded. Gilded Age is very pretty and like perfectly put together. This Downton Abbey's is just a little bit more raw, but it's a
Okay.
fantastically acted show. It's not giving like straight British humor. It's not giving that.
Okay.
Um, but it is a long watch. It took me a long time to get through 6 seasons. And there's movies. And the
Yeah.
movie, the most recent or the final movie in the trilogy was just released not that long ago. And so everybody's talking about Downton Abbey again. So I was like, oh, let me be a part of this conversation. And I'm so glad
Nice.
that I did because it is a very well done show. But that has been occupying my downtime.
That's the show.
Yeah,
I love it.
that is what I've been watching. But I also started watching, and I was going to ask you about this because I was wondering if your wife was making you watch Love Is Blind UK. Did she make you watch
Oh
that?
yeah. She doesn't have to make me anymore.
Oh, you're into it.
Yeah, I'm into them now.
You're
I hate watch
so,
it, but like I'm pretty
of
into them
course.
now.
So you watched
um,
UK.
yeah. Oh yeah. Was that
Was
the
it good?
summer? I can't
Yeah,
remember
I
when
don't
that
think it was
was.
that long
August.
ago. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
maybe
Yeah,
August. I
we
don't think
watched
it
the
was
whole
that long
thing.
ago.
We gobble that one up. That one
Oh,
like we watched the
gobble
day it comes
gobble.
out. Yeah.
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 Sometimes it comes out at midnight. Actually, I think most of the time it comes out at midnight, and sometimes I'm still up and I'm like, fuck it.
Yep. It's about time. Yep. Gotta
This
know.
was a good season. Love is
It
Blind
was a good
UK. This was
season.
a good season.
Both the UK
Um,
ones have been good. The
both
first
UK
UK
ones
one
have been
was one
good.
of my favorite ones of all of them. The
Agreed.
last American one kind of sucked, but
It was the
the
worst,
Minnesota
right?
one, it was
Minnesota. Oh
terrible.
yeah.
It was really terrible.
Oh yeah. The next one comes out on October 1st though. So we're right back in
For
it.
real?
Yes,
America?
Denver.
Oh, right. Yeah, Denver.
Denver.
Allie's really nervous it's going to be the same as Minnesota.
I feel like it might be. They need to do something different to get us all back in there. I used to be in a
Yeah.
few group chats about this show and everybody trailed off after the last
It
season.
was
I
just
was the only
boring.
one left. Yeah, it
Well,
was
and now
bad.
I feel like they're all like very aware of like I'm on a show and I'm getting cred for like there's like a feeling of like trying to stick the show out more even if you don't think it's going to work to me. Like I perceived that a lot even in this UK one of like the what was his name? He was like the former soccer player who was kind of like the villain in this one. can't remember his name. He had like the bigger beard. He was dating.
I don't remember either.
There was the thing between Damola and him with the one girl. Javin, something like that.
Yes.
And he, to me, read like someone who was just very aware. Like, I'm gonna do the show. I'm gonna stay on it the whole time. I have no intention of marrying these people. I think he did it for the dates.
Definitely got that as well.
Yeah.
But it's also really difficult for me to decipher who's on here to actually go through the experiment and who's on here to just become an influencer on the other side.
That's what I mean. 100%.
Because they all seem to just like naturally fall into that world. But like the more
that one couple was super in love. I can't remember their names. The guy who had great hair. He had great hair. Yes, and the dancer. Yeah, they were cute. They were fun.
Yeah, they just got signed to William Morris.
Of course they did. Of course they did.
I know. I saw that headline and I was like, oh, wow. So are we signed as a couple? Or are we signed as individuals? Like, if we break up, is this contract null and void? How does this work in reality television? But that's another conversation for another day, David.
We're in such a different world with what gets signed to William Morris.
But they were very cute, and I'm so glad that they made it all the way through.
Yeah, we were rooting for them.
Yeah, so the other thing that I'm watching right now, and I don't even know why, because I've never watched this show before in my entire life, but it's on like season 21, Project Runway.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Fascinating, right?
I bet. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never had an interest, but like
press play. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But, it's really, really interesting watching people making something out of absolutely nothing. Starting with an idea. That's why I love the
construction shows. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all the same. It's the same format, same formula.
Yep.
Watching people start with absolutely nothing but thoughts and an idea and words on a paper, and it turns into this like glorious thing.
Yeah, that's cool. And when something's been on that long, they're obviously doing something right on some level. I mean, it's like Family Guy, Simpsons, like all those too. Like they've existed for so long now. Like South Park, like there's clearly like a formula that works for enough people to keep it going.
Yeah, absolutely. What a gig. What a gig. All right. Well, I can't wait to hear how the movies turn out because I'm probably not going to watch them because I still haven't made it to the movies yet.
Tiffany.
I know.
You gotta get on that. Although I don't see like a big string of them that I've been super excited. I've been really excited about the Leo one. I can't even tell you what else is coming out right now. I don't really know.
I thought about it yesterday in the car. I was like, I'm part of the reason why the film industry is dying. Me.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Because
That's
I'm like,
true.
I literally will watch these previews and I'll be like, oh yeah, I'll wait for that to stream. I wonder which platform that's going to be streaming on. That's my first thought. Not should I go and watch this in a theater?
I mean, that's a great point because it is the reason why it is because you are also the demographic of people that would care the most about if it's any good or not. You know what I mean? Like, because it's what you do. Like, it's like what you aspire to do, and what you do is what you do. Is that. So if you are not inspired to put one foot in front of the other and go to do the thing, like how is Joe Q somebody in whereverville gonna want to do that in a theater that's not as nice as all the options you have in LA, where literally in every neighborhood there's a nice theater. Like that really put it in perspective for me when I saw somebody, I think it was that same guy I send you a lot, the pop culture guy that does industry breakdown stuff on Instagram that I've started to really enjoy his stuff. He did one literally on movie theaters where he's like, he wasn't from here. And so he had this experience, and it was Danny McBride talking about how shitty the movie theaters were where he lived. And he's like, no wonder no one wants to go. It smells bad. I think we talked about this. And I'm like,
oh yes,
that's so foreign to us here. Cause here they're the IMAX AMCs and they're and you have an option. If that one's full, you could go to another one down the street and it's probably pretty nice too. And I don't know how we get out of that, but
I'm not really sure either because it really actually speaks to a bigger issue, right? If I just break down
the industry, we're talking about it.
Yeah, nice transition. I think I'm thinking about the reasonings, the excuses that I come up with to not go to the theater. And it's honestly just because I'm so tired all the time,
Yeah,
David. You know what I mean? Like when it
I
comes
do know
down
what you
to it,
mean.
I'm working so hard just to survive in this city and in this moment in time that I don't have the energy to even do something like that. And again, like as to what we were speaking to before we started going live today, I'm by myself all the time and I have no problem
Yeah.
doing things and going places by myself. I will take myself out to eat. I've taken myself to the movies. Like I have no problem doing those type of things, but the energy levels, it's
Oh
so much
yeah.
easier for me to just be home and support the same project via the streaming platform once it's already gotten to that state.
Yep.
But if
I
it
get it.
wasn't so hard to just like be here and live here, then I think that I would have more disposable income to do things like go see movies. But I'm paying $18.99 for Hulu every month so that I
Yeah.
can have access to all of the things. So it's like I'm already paying for it in one way or another. And that's an additional thing. And if I'm going to be doing it by myself, then what is the difference of me doing it at home versus me doing it out in the world? Now, I know that could bring up a
I was
lot
gonna
of
say I could argue
arguments.
that. I could argue that.
Absolutely. There's a
I
lot
do
of things
think
that can be said.
there's an experiential part of the theater not being able to hit pause, not like all of that, like it being more of a show of like a buy a ticket, show up show by yourself or not by yourself. Because when I saw Superman by myself, I felt that way too. It's like, and for me, that's it's a change up to do it by myself, which is kind of like fun in a different way. If it was always that way, I'm sure it would get way more taxing to like have to do that a lot of like the
Yeah.
journey by yourself. Because then you're not. If you're with somebody else, you can have a conversation. You don't even realize if you're being loud. Whereas you're sitting 3 seats over and you're like, shut the fuck up. So I
Yes,
get it.
stop
Like,
queuing.
yeah, exactly. But there's something about all of it, like the smells of like popcorn and like everything, like the Nicole Kidman coming out and the way that, especially in LA, people react to that is hilarious. She still gets cheers in AMC's when she
Yes.
comes out, and it's like so pandemic adjacent of like a memory for us that we can't help but laugh, and like we always say like because they are like at the end, because like I don't know, it's just like it's an experiential thing that you don't get
I
if you just
completely
hit on
understand.
your remote. I don't know.
I completely understand that. But then it becomes a financial question. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And there's so many
it is.
variables and layers to the whole thing.
Yep.
But it is something that I would like to work on. I've obviously brought it back into the pod. I think we've talked about this
Yeah.
at nauseum in here. So
It
eventually
relates to everything.
it does. It does. But yes, I'm going to get to the movie theaters and I'm looking forward to hearing how your experience is with your movies that are
I
coming up.
know. I can't wait. I think I'm gonna have to wait. She's flying to Texas tomorrow morning for a job, and I think we're gonna have to figure it out next week. I think because I have to go. Like that is the one thing now too, is that your window to see the movies you want feels
Shorter,
tiny,
right?
like so short, unless it's even the big ones, but like Superman or something, like they keep that a little longer because it's like such a wide ranging audience, I guess, that would come see it. But with something like this, like I don't know how long it sticks in the good theater, because I pay for AMC, like I want to go see it on the best
Yeah.
screen or whatever, because like why not. But yeah, we'll see. I will report back. I think by the next time we talk, I'll have seen it for sure. Because in the next 2 weeks, I
Yes,
gotta
I think
figure
so
it out.
too.
It's hard to find a night anymore, but I'm gonna figure that out.
Yes, I love that you're so busy.
Good
Um,
God,
it's good. It's just
it is
good.
good. It is good. It's what I've asked for and what I've wanted, and now it's just a matter of like it kind of sort of felt like everything everywhere all at once. Like kind of all at the same time. So it became like, how do you manage your time?
Well, that was going to be something that I was going to ask you because maybe you should talk a little bit about what has happened and transpired in your content creation project over the last couple of months and how it was for you, how it was looking for you at the beginning of the summer versus how it feels and looks for you now. And I kind of just wanted to know if there was like a pivotal moment that happened or Was it literally just all of the hard work that you have been putting in finally coming to fruition? I know that was a lot of questions, so the
No,
floor is
yeah.
yours.
Yeah, just sort of like where things have been versus where they're going. I think that to start with the last piece, I think it's both. I think that if I look at this is year 3 of this thing, and if I look at year 1 versus year 2 versus year 3, it's kind of like an organic stair step that's been also exponential. You know what I mean? Like, but it doesn't usually just go right away. Like, I feel like it has been through a lot of hard work, but also just like, well, no, it's because of all that. Because like, you know, I built something and then that builds to something else and then that builds to something else. And I think just people in general are more apt to jump onto the bandwagon of something that's already being watched than they are to be like, here's this person that no one's following. You should check them out, you know, and like that is harder. So the beginning is always the hardest. So once I got like, you know, remembering what it felt like to get your first 10K followers in year 1 versus now hitting 150 plus, and like what this year has started out versus what every other year has started out, more than anything, I feel like now I just feel like a little bit more of a well-oiled machine that I know now, like what works. I know what I want to do every week, and I have more of like a structure to how I need to do that to get it to happen. Whereas the first year I was just trying to like, you know, like I was just like trying to like keep it going and like think of new things. And I felt like I had to be a lot more like, I don't know if this is going to work. And like, you know, like you're tinkering, like it's like the ball of clay is not like fully like formed yet. You're just like kind of figuring it out, and it's enough to like get you by. Second year, I feel like I got more detail in the clay, and I was like, you know, like shading and, you know, like whatever it is. And then like this year, I feel like feel very ready. So I think it's like all of that. It's like opportunity meeting my readiness, but also like being appreciative and, you know, like for myself, like not patting myself on the back, but like knowing that like I really have put in like a lot of time and effort over 2 years to get to year 3 to now feel like all of a sudden it's happening. So to back up to that of what has happened in short form, the start of this year, well, I'm going to go back to the summer because George passed away this summer. And I think we talked about that in the summer episodes because I can't remember exactly when it was. I think it was June, maybe, or maybe it was July. I don't know. Whenever it was, it rocked me. It really was hard because this whole thing of like having the validation of somebody who was in the OG thing that inspired me to do this, be on my side and be actively participating in like the joy of it and the pushing of it forward of like saying like, yeah, keep going. Like, this is great. I'm going to share it too. Like all of those kind of things, just getting a like every week on Facebook, like that just meant so much to me to be validated by the person that I like, you know, was inspired by doing the thing. So losing that was very hard, and it made me go, I don't deserve this anymore. This was never mine in the first place. Like, what am I even doing? And I had so many amazing people who have been following me from the start that like reached out and really like lifted me up at a time where I was like, I don't think I even let on how down I was. Like I put out a sad thing because I was sad and I was like being honest. And so clearly like people knew, but like some people didn't really know that I knew him, you know, like, or that it really was that thing. And it was like so many comments of like, you're carrying on the legacy. Like, it's so like he would be proud of you, and people that knew him too that said no, like he loved you and he loved what you did, and like he is looking down like whatever. So now he's over my shoulder all the time. I put him on my wall. And awesome. Fast forward to Allie and I were on our anniversary trip a couple weeks ago, and we walked into a sports shop, and they had a ton of like really cool vintage jerseys, and it just so happened that they had a couple Bears jerseys, and they were like of vintage players. It was like Walter Payton, and it was like Urlacher and Gale Sayers and Jim McMahon, who I know you know all of them. But Jim McMahon is the jersey that George always wore. It was number 9. He was the quarterback from the Super Bowl winning 85 Bears. And I was going through different jerseys up there, and I needed my size, and none of them were my size, but the McMahon one was my size. And it just sort of felt like I need to have that. So like there's been really cool stuff that feels like he is still, like every time I put on a mustache, I think about him when he was like I've read articles about him and Robert having this little suitcase of curiosities, as they called it, which was like their spirit gum and their mustaches and their glasses, and going to all these different places and doing it. And now I'm doing that like all the time, you know, like where they were doing it like here and there at a skit for whatever it was, and then an appearance. Like I'm like living, breathing it in a way that's like wasn't what the old way was. So getting back on the horse and riding after losing him was a I don't want to say a struggle, but it was tough, you know, like, but people lifting me up and telling me that it meant a lot to me. So then summer kind of comes and goes, and then preseason starts, and preseason hit fast and hard too. Like it was going really well. And I could sort of feel, I was like, okay, I think like this year, like is going to go to a whole new level with this. And so the start of the football season, which is September, so Labor Day weekend, the Bears played Monday Night Football the first week of the season. And a couple weeks before, a producer from ESPN had reached out to me and said like, hey, we've been trying to track you down. We want to use one of your parodies in a feature on ESPN on Monday Night Countdown before the Monday night game. And I was like, what? And, you know, I just thought they wanted to like show a clip or whatever. And like, no, they like fully wanted to license one of my songs, which had to go then through. It was really cool to have this experience because now I've gone through it and I know what someone else can do to get one of my songs to work for whatever they want to do. Cause that's legally, I never understood before. And these people, like, this guy's like an Emmy-winning producer for ESPN that's been doing it for like 20 years. So he set me up with their music department. They went straight to Warner Brothers Music, who did the real song, got Panic at the Disco's okay for my song to be used. And I'm sure they got paid too. And then they paid me to license it from now through February. So if they ever want to do it again, they can use my song again. And so that's how the season started, was like being on ESPN, not only being on ESPN, but like being paid to be on ESPN, which is really cool. And then, you know, we started to lose, which people love my misery. And so people started watching. So like, it just kind of fired off right away. I got multiple brand deals kind of right off the bat. The one this past weekend, I was in Chicago for one with Waterloo Sparkling Water, and I did one with Fanatics Sportsbook that first week of the season. And they're coming out like really fast. It's like, hey, we want you to do this thing. We're going to pay you money, do this thing. And so it fits in with what I'm doing, but it's like, that's the added element now of like, I was really like ready to do my structure, but then adding in this other stuff is like, it's a lot. And then I also added in a part-time job on top because in the summer, I didn't know if this would be paying any bills.
We were freaking out. We weren't sure what was going on.
I was very much freaking out. Like, I need to make some money. I was losing my health insurance from SAG. Dubbing feels like it's going a lot to AI. So it was just like, what am I going to do? Need to have a job. And then of course, start the job and like everything blows up with Swerski a little bit too. So like, I mean, just an example of this past weekend, like I'm working, I don't even want to say what I'm doing for a part-time job. But busy time for that job too. A lot of stuff to like learn and know. And then like I had to do that Friday night and then get on a plane at 6 a.m, fly to Chicago, do a thing on Sunday, fly back. My flight was supposed to get in at midnight. It was delayed. I got in at 1:30 on Sunday night. And then I had to do a reaction song to the game that had been played on Sunday because the week before we were going to get ready to go on our anniversary trip. So I did a song the day of that was the only repeat song that I've really done. And it was like a huge success. So I had all other people reaching out to me that week being like, hey, can you come on our show? Can you come do this thing? And I'm like, I don't live there, so I can't, but managing all that. So then this week, people were like, I've been waiting for your song forever. And I like not understanding like 24 hours turnaround for these is like, it's a lot hard. And so with this one, fly in 1:30, she had to work really early. So I woke up at like 5 something, 6 something, and didn't even know what song I was going to do. I thought I was going to think about it on the plane, but I was so tired because I had to fly so early on Saturday and it was such a whirlwind. So that morning, picked the song, wrote the song, learned every part of the song, tracked the whole thing, filmed it, edited it, got it out by like 3 in the afternoon.
That's insane, David.
Yeah. That's kind of where it's at now. That's how fast these are going. And then like this week, then I had to finish up the brand deal from the weekend before. So I had to get a bunch of approvals for that reel. And I edited 5 different versions of that for them. And then yesterday I did my long form YouTube thing that is a beast to
Edit?
it's all of it. I mean, it's like my script, my take of me doing that, the one I put on YouTube only, is usually 15 to 20 minutes, and I don't cut. So like I hit record and I do the whole script that I wrote, and it's usually like about a 9 to 10 page script that, you know, I put on a teleprompter and sort of
Yeah.
scrolls, but it's my writing. So like, and I've done it that day, so it's fresh in my head. And then it's taking a 20-minute chunk of thing, putting it into Final Cut, and I still do all the cuts and take out all my breaths. So it's like, you know, it's fine tune editing. It's not just like let it roll. And then I'm also putting graphics over my shoulder in that one that I'm creating or finding. I pick every game in the NFL with like a little check mark by who's going to win with sound effects. There's sound, there's music that goes with this. So that one's a beast. And so that was yesterday. I started that when I first woke up, wrote the whole thing, didn't finish it until like 8 at night. So it's awesome. It's a lot. And I'm grateful for it. You know, like I'm grateful for the fact that people care, and that more and more people are caring as it goes. And now like the monetary piece is starting to come around.
Finally.
Yeah, finally,
Yeah.
for real. Like, but this is going to be like the start of this season, both from play view payment alone, and then all of the brand deals is going to be easily the most lucrative month I've had in a very long time.
What about the merch? How's that going?
It's going well. I've sold like 100 things since I've started it. Not 100 things. I've had like 100 orders, which has been like multiple things in an order. This is still, I use this all the time, but this is like, this sells so well. This glass is awesome.
That's great.
Yeah, this one has been the best selling item, and the koozies with the thing on it too. But yeah, it's funny because in Chicago for the brand deal on Sunday, I had to go to a tailgate, but I couldn't wear Bears stuff because it was like they weren't like cross promoted with each other to like, I couldn't wear official logoed Bears things because it would be a conflict.
Swerski stuff, the whole thing,
Which is
top to bottom.
That was part of the strategic part of making my own stuff, was that like, it's why I have a poster that has my things instead of the Bears too. So like when I do a brand deal, I face the other poster so that I don't have to really worry about it. And I've been pretty strategic, but yeah, I show up in all my stuff instead of that. So it's Bears colors, but it's like mine. But on the train, some lady came up, she's like, "What is that? That's so great. What is this?" And I was like, "It's this," because I was wearing it on the train, and I was like, "It's this," because it's literally my face. Like I drew my sunglasses and my mustache into this logo, and she was like, "Oh my God, that's incredible." And literally while we were on the train, I got like 2 or 3 orders, not from her, because my friend Sabrina was like, "That had to be from her," and it was like somebody in Oregon. So it's just like, it's just kind of crazy the support and the continued like building of the system of support and the reach of it all is like, the greatest part is that I don't have a lot of time to think about it because it's like a little overwhelming, and I just have to like keep it going. Like the season doesn't stop. It's like they all say as football players, like on to the next week. That's sort of where I have to live too. And like, you know, the interacting with it isn't as big of a piece now as it used to be when I was building it. Like now it's kind of like its own little world where comments are commenting to each other and whatever it is. And if I do see some, great. And if I don't, I don't. Like I watched the game on Sunday with my friend who does the news in ABC in Chicago that has put my stuff. He was like a big reason why this grew the first year, because he started putting like every parody I did every week on the news. And then we've gotten closer throughout the years. And like, it was funny because I was like in full costume. We were going to watch the game with him, and I sent him a text. I'm like, maybe odd question. Would you rather watch the game with Swerski or with David? And he was like, David, please. And I was like, understood. So I like taking off my mustache and like, which I was relieved by, because like it's fun to be out in public, but like there is enough recognition. I'm sure he didn't need extra recognition being somewhat recognizable in Chicago anyway. But we watched the game together, and so I sent him my song because he knew the speed and the process, and he's like a musician to understand how hard what I'm doing is. And so I sent it to him. He put it on the news all night and like told his audience that we had watched the game together and stuff too. So it's like a lot of the hard work is like, it's all starting to like, the puzzle feels like it's being put together, if that makes sense. Like it's filling in the gaps of like, you know, like seeding myself into the community more and like into the whole everything. So it's cool.
Would you say that there is like, I don't know, one piece of advice that you would offer to anybody that's like starting from the beginning with content creation and like
Yeah,
how to get from A to B to Z? Can you pinpoint one piece of advice?
I think, and I learned through Alien Donkey, which we talked about a lot too. Like that was a little bit of a trial by fire, trial by error, started like figure it out. But I think consistency is the most important thing. I think that's like over anything else, because everybody starts as whatever they start at. Like Mr. Beast's first videos are terrible, but like he kept making them, and he kept doing the same kind of things, so that every time that people showed up, I think they knew what to expect, and they knew then if you do surprise them, you already have the people built into whatever you're doing, so like you can try other stuff. But like consistency of just like showing up and doing it, I think is kind of everything. And I think trusting your voice within that consistency is the main thing. Like you don't, to not get discouraged by like, and I'm preaching to myself here as I say this, like if somebody doesn't respond to something that you were hoping they would respond to, like, excuse me, if there's not like a bigger, like viral moment or whatever from a thing that you thought deserved it or that you spent a ton of time on, like, don't get discouraged by it. Just go make another thing. And like sometimes that other thing that you thought deserved the attention will get the attention in a month or in a week or whatever it is. Like everything is very much in the moment, but like if you build a body of work through consistency, then when people can go dig back through like what, for Swerski, like what it looked like in the first season versus what it looked like in the second season versus what it looks like now, you can definitely see like there was less stuff on my walls, like in the first year, but like the intention was the same and the idea was the same. It just got better and it got more refined. It's like the ball of clay. Like you just, as you get going more, you get better at like understanding what you're trying to do. But if you don't stay consistent with it and you just constantly second guess yourself to like, I don't want to put that out because I don't know, maybe that one part of this one thing, like maybe that makes me hate the whole thing. Like now I'm just going to throw the whole idea away. Like don't do that. Just like put it out. People are forgiving and people's attention spans are short. So probably like the part that you think like maybe was bad about that video, 90% of your audience doesn't make it there anyway. So it does not matter. It's just more like be true to your voice, be true to your thing, and just like keep putting it out there. The viewership and the other things will come, I think, once you find your audience, and your audience just has to find you. So the more you're there as you, the more chance you give people you've never met, to come like randomly find you, because the algorithm is still like, it'll feed people stuff, and like somebody will see it that will share it with somebody that will share it with somebody, and then it just kind of like, I think that stuff just starts to happen.
So what would you say to somebody about consistency? Like what is your trick to maintaining consistency? What is your process in maintaining consistency?
Well, year 3, I would say it's way easier than it was in year 2, and year 2 was easier than it was in year 1. You know what I mean? Like I think that that's the same kind of thing. I think it starts to refine for yourself what that is, because in the beginning I didn't know even that like parody songs were going to be a thing, right? And then like parody songs became like kind of the thing, and then it was like, well, what else can I do to supplement that thing, and adding those things in, and then staying in a flow within each one. And partly for me, each element I added to it. So it's like I have the parody song I work on, and then I move on to the big long form YouTube, and then I move on to the game preview, and then I like go for a day in the weekend, and then I go right back to it. And so I have these like chunks of like, it's sort of like, like your table read to your rehearsal to your filming. Like it's like there's like a piece that like sort of makes sense to go through, but that was all trial and error. Like I didn't know what I didn't know when I started. And there's still so much more that I know I could do, and that's like the part that eats at me. It's like, oh, if I could add in this other thing, or if like I could just do this like better, or have more time to do XYZ. But really, like just getting it done and out there is more important than like adding in those like 10% more effort that it maybe takes me to do that thing that would maybe deplete me from being able to get on the horse and ride again the next day, maybe, if that makes any sense.
Sure. I mean, I think, myself, as far as like, fitness is concerned, like I'm a very results oriented person. If I'm not seeing results, or if I'm not seeing the physical like sweat dripping off of my body,
Mm-hmm.
then it feels like I'm not doing something.
Yeah.
So in year 1 of this project for you, there wasn't a lot of feedback, right? There wasn't a lot
Mm-mm.
of return. There wasn't a lot of results besides likes and comments.
Yeah.
Was
I mean, like
that
the
enough to fuel the fire?
Yeah, but I mean, I think the fact that like the first parody song I put out did like that hit a viral moment when I didn't have anything. So that was the carrot for me. Like in the first year, it was like having one moment of like, oh, and I sort of felt
Mm,
like I saw the light from the moment. But like before
mm,
that moment, I had been doing it in a different way for weeks prior to that. That was like I was frustrated. Like Ali will tell everybody, I was down on myself because no one was paying attention. I was down on myself because I was like, I don't even know why I'm doing this. And she had encouraged me to start it. And I was like bummed out. And then like, I was making eggs and I literally like had the idea of that song the first one that I did that was like Behind Blue Eyes, where it was like behind a stash. And I like came up, did it, filmed it, put it out without like overly judging what I was doing, just got it done, put it out. And that one did find an audience out of like thin air. Like I didn't have an audience built in. So to know that there was a way to reach people if you just like kind of strike the right kind of like whatever
yeah.
magic, strike gold, whatever it is. Like I think without that moment throughout the whole first year, it would have been way harder. Well, and I clearly wouldn't be in the same spot. Cause like I realized then like, oh, something that I love to do, which is play music, be funny, that I didn't really get a chance to do until I had thrown this mustache on, that resonated way better with an audience than the stuff I had been trying. So then it was like,
Yeah.
oh, well, that's like the thing, and that's my in. And once I found that in, I I had a lot of joy, and I still do, making those songs. Like that's like it's like scratching every itch creatively that I ever have. Like I love all of those things. I love editing, music, storytelling, you name it. And
Yeah.
I love being a crazy fun Bears fan because it's like partly who I am. And like, having something that's so true to you, which I think is the part of like the authenticity that people are naturally going to latch onto in social media worlds and stuff too, is like, do I actually buy this person what they're selling? Like, or does it come off as like, are you just after the fame or the buck or the whatever it is? Like, is there something there that makes me care? And I think that I found that by being truly like tapping into something that's very much who I am, that is also like, it's like what's the word? It's augmented, like it's me on steroids a little bit,
Yeah.
but like it's a true thing to who I am, of all these things that I love kind of put together. And then like, I think that speaks to people, like I think it speaks through a mustache and glasses or whatever it is. Like, and I think that's the thing that people want to find, people that can make them see themselves in them, but also like that are entertaining and that are true to who they are. And I think that's the
Yeah.
main thing, is like find the thing. And all the things I tried that didn't work. Alien Donkey was still true to who I was. That was funny too, and it was all these things, but the juice wasn't worth the squeeze because it took too long to get those ideas out. Whereas this is like I could churn them out faster. And I think the key for anybody is just like, if you're into fitness and that's the thing, like there's so many times that I see a fitness video that like stops me in my tracks and I watch it. And like lately it's about guys saying all these stretches that keep you feeling like your body doesn't hurt, because I'm fucking old now. But it's like, do
Yeah.
this 3 times a day and then you'll have less whatever pain. And I'm like, oh wow,
Yeah.
that's great. I wish I would have been doing that for the last 20 years. But like those guys, like
Yeah.
there are some fitness ones that are like really off-putting, and they're like, ugh. And it'll make you like swipe away. But like the one that like feels like they enjoy helping people discover this stuff is usually the one that like makes you stop and like makes you watch it. So I think like it's just finding that true thing for you, like whatever that is for the you that would like want to do it,
Well, I'm so glad that you found it and that it found you,
Thank you. Yeah, me
because
too.
it's been working really well, and it's so nice and amazing to see you being able to utilize all of your skill sets in one way. And it's just so wonderful watching it financially pay off as well,
Thank you.
because the time and effort that you put into this has been, I don't even think it can be called a project anymore, right? It's a
No, it's a
business. It's a
job, man.
full-on job. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and it's a very full-time job at this point. And I like, that's why adding in the other sprinkle of like a part-time survival thing to have health insurance and the other things is like, now it's like, like, you know, I'm trying to remember that there's always lean moments, and the consistency of that can be its own beautiful thing, as long as I let it be. Because that's my problem, is like anything I do, I try to do to like 110%. I just can't help it.
Yeah.
And so I have to keep it in perspective of like, what is the thing and what are the other things? You know what I mean? And actually lately for me, content creation, whatever that is, which sometimes feels like a bad word, has also filled the void of like all of what I ever wanted to do in this industry, where I've been waiting so long for someone else to give me the opportunity to do it. Where in this, I'm taking it myself, and like these brand deals, it's like doing my own commercial, which is so much better than the commercial castings I go out for and don't book. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
like, so there's been a newfound like, yeah, it's a job, and I prioritize it now over even some auditions and things, because I just like, I know this is actually like successful, paying my bills, and is consistent, whereas that is like maybe not. And sometimes like it's, that juice isn't worth the squeeze either, because it's like lately commercial auditioning has felt like that for me, where I'm like, why am I even doing this? Like I don't ever get anywhere with it, and it's so stressful to like cancel anything you're doing in the day to go to the last minute audition, or like drop everything you're doing to get in the self-tape by 7:00 tonight. Like all of those things are asinine to ask of people to like do on a daily basis. And if you can't do it, you don't really want it. Like that's not cool. And that training that we've had through this industry discouraged me from taking this leap of faith for so long. And now it's like starting to replace it, where I'm like, I'm getting to do all of what I'm asking to get to do in all of these things, just in my own way. And the more that I've seen it as that, as the job, it feels less like influencer, like, and you have to sort of like feel like ashamed saying it. And it's like, no, I'm creating stuff. I'm a creator. I always have been. I'm just finally doing it.
Such an inspirational conversation, David. Thank you for sharing all of that with all of us.
Yeah,
Me and
you're welcome.
the 3 listeners, maybe 4 still.
Yeah, we got 2 watchers. I don't know. I didn't ever check the chat. I'm sorry.
Oh, really?
Okay, good. I forgot. It's been a long time. There's a lot of technology on this thing.
No, I'm not saying really that you didn't check the chat. I'm saying really we had 2 listeners.
Yeah, I got 2 little eyeballs at the top of my screen.
Thank you, 2 little eyeballs. We appreciate you. But as per usual, this will be live on YouTube. I mean, ready again on YouTube as soon as we're done. And then as soon as David has some time to upload us to our audio platforms. No rush. He's a very busy guy. But I think we should wrap it up.
Yeah. Tell me something good. You tell me something good. I feel
really
like I just
interesting. Did. I know. You just did a lot of good. But I'm going to take your good and try and wrap this up quickly, but I was recently rejected from a job. I tried to get an additional job, which is a whole nother story for a whole nother day. Like, where would I even put that in my schedule? But I was really hoping for it, and I didn't get it. And this was another survival job, another fitness job. I didn't get it, and I took it really hard at first, but I had to have a like really serious conversation with myself and say, Tiffany, like, why are you out trying to get another job doing the exact same thing that you're already doing in all of your other survival jobs, when there's this other piece that you've been dying to do, wanting to do, but you're just not treating it as a job? And that's your social media. You've been talking about this for so long, but you haven't thought about it as a job. And I literally wrote that down. So I love that that's how you ended yours.
Amazing.
But I was like, Tiffany, you didn't get this one job, but let this be the opening for you to take the opportunity to give yourself the job of finally jumping into your social media. So I'm going to see how this goes, switching that like tiny little bit in my head to see if that makes a big difference. So I didn't get the job that I thought I wanted, but I got a new job. So
that's sometimes how it works out best. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Good for you.
Thank you. We'll see. Let's see if I can be
Yeah.
consistent. Let's see if I can like get my confidence back within this journey, because there's a lot
We'll
that
circle
goes into
back.
this,
Social
but we will
media,
circle back to this for sure.
new
We have 15
endeavors.
seconds left before our hour is up, but I wanted to ask you on a work date on
Okay.
November 15th. I want to
Okay.
see if you are available
Hold.
to go on a field trip with your
November
co-host.
15th is a
Mm-hmm.
Saturday. When is Thanksgiving? No, that's 2 weeks before
Nope.
Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Potentially, yes. As long as I can
Okay.
get out of the survival job is all Saturdays. And
Okay.
that's like my full shift. And I know I'm taking off quite a few other Saturdays around that because of football stuff. So, but if I can, yeah. Why? What are we doing? Do I get to know? Or is,
Yeah, of course.
okay.
Smartless is coming to the Hollywood Bowl.
Oh, that's cool. What time would that even happen?
Probably like 8.
I could probably do it no matter what then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it a crazy ticket?
I haven't even looked yet. You were the first part of the adventure, seeing
November
if I could get
15th.
my co-host to go with me.
I
We
will.
can
I will definitely see what I can do for sure.
All right.
Maybe I can try to like make sure I work early in that day or something.
We'll figure it out. Smart
Yeah.
lists coming
I
to the
like it.
Hollywood Bowl. Get your tickets. Free advertising.
They are funny men. Funny men, those guys.
Thank you, David. It's been a wonderful, wonderful recap. Thank you for sharing all the things always. Thank you for your time. So excited for you and this next phase of your adventure with Dave Swerski. And I'm so glad you had an amazing summer break, but it sounds like we're back.
Yeah, I love it. Thank
Back
you
in the
for all the
pod.
same things. I appreciate your time and efforts and all of the things too. It's always a good conversation.
Yes.
I feel refreshed and good. So it's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. And we'll see you next time in the
All right.
pod.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
How do I stop it?